Hello everyone. How is it going? How is it going? Welcome to another stream today on a Sunday night. It was a pretty good weekend, pretty chill weekend. How is everybody's weekend going? How is everybody's weekend going? Hello everyone in the chat. Hello. I plan to start streaming at 3 o'clock today after lunch, and I thought I'm gonna stream till 9 o'clock in the night. So half an hour before this, I was about to end the stream, and then I had my lunch, a Sunday lunch, and I just slept. I told myself I'll sleep for half an hour. My wife went out for lunch with a friend, so I had my lunch and went to sleep. She came in. She came back. I don't know when. I honestly don't know. Like I was so damn asleep. I don't know when she came back. She came back. She also fell asleep. Then I think she woke up at 7 o'clock. I woke up at 6 o'clock. I woke up at 7:30. And yeah, after that, I had some other things to do, which I thought I would be doing in the night. So I had those things to do because I already realized that. Well, I wouldn't say it's a bad Sunday. Sometimes it's okay to switch off, and you don't have to study, you don't have to do anything. You just turn off. That's all. And that's exactly what happened, and I'm absolutely okay with that. I'm absolutely happy with that. I had a pretty good time off. And how was your Sunday? How was your Sunday? How was your Sunday? I hope it was good. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna after getting everything done, I thought, okay, I'll study for some time, and I thought, okay, like nowadays that's kind of become a habit where if I'm studying for something, I'll probably just go ahead and start streaming. I'm kind of getting the hang of it. I'm kind of getting the feel of it, and enjoying the process of streaming. So that is kind of pretty good. Okay. I hope everything is good. The music and everything. Oh, music has stopped actually. I love this song by Prismo. Yeah, I think I'm playing it on repeat right now. Of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? Something like that. I gave you all I own. So, how's everybody doing in the chat? We'll start very soon. Just putting up some chats. I'm just putting up some marketing things quickly. I'm gonna also put up a WhatsApp status. If anybody's interested from my group, they can come and join. Yeah. I don't want to hear if everything is good. I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna hear if everything is good. So I feel voice and everything is good. The music is not blasting your ears. My voice might be blasting your ears, so I'm gonna put down my voice a little bit. So I hope that's okay. The music is blasting in my ears a little bit, so I'm gonna put it down for myself. But I hope for you guys it's not blasting. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Let you out. Mess. No. Okay. So, since we are starting, question here is that what are we doing today? What are we doing today? So today we are doing something very innovative. Today we are doing something very different, which already if you're seeing the thumbnail might know we are doing Leetcode. So why again data structures? I'm just gonna turn down the fan a little bit because it's a little cold. It's not a little cold, but I just took a shower after, like, I woke up. I took a shower right before I started the stream, so it's feeling a little chilly. But the weather is pretty good. The weather is pretty good. If you're coming for the first time in Bangalore, it might feel not correct, but yeah, it feels good now. It feels good. Okay, so the question is, one thing is that I'm not planning well. I'll be very honest. I'm not planning my stream series well. What exactly I want to do. So every day when I feel of doing something or learning something, and I just start streaming, and it kind of becomes a giant pain in the ass to actually figure out, okay, if I'm going to stream this content, what is the thumbnails to do, what is this thing, that thing, right? So a couple of things I still need to figure out, how to streamline the process, how to make it more efficient. So that is kind of one issue. And the second issue is that I'm kind of lazy in figuring out what to do and all that. And Leetcode seems like something which, it gives an instant gratification. So I don't know if, anyways, even with Leetcode, not a lot of people are coming to live stream. So I don't know if people will be coming to live stream if I'm going ahead and learning Redis, going ahead and streaming that I'm learning Redis, I'm learning Kafka, I'm playing around with it. I don't know if people would be interested in that. So yeah, anyways, maybe at some point I would start giving a F about if people are coming or not, and I would just start doing my thing. Well, it's not that right now someone is forcing me to do Leetcode, but yeah, just coming up with different ideas and trying and doing it. It's... let's see. Anyways, saying that, we are doing Leetcode, and we'll keep struggling with Leetcode, because why not? So let me start sharing my screen, because I think, yeah, okay, cool, we are good here. So I can just go to study plan, premium. I'm really sorry if anybody is trying to follow me and they don't have access to this premium. I'm sorry for that, but you can actually, I won't Google it, but you can Google and see if you can find some free stuff. That's what I'm gonna just say. Okay. Okay. Maybe finish up these two because it feels like easy stuff. Also, I've done it before. Okay. Design a data structure that simulates an in-memory file system. Implement the following. Implement the file system class. Initialize the object of the system. Okay. So list string. Okay. So you can do an ls if path is a file, returns a list of returns a list that contains this file's name. What? Okay. If path is a directory, return the list of directories and names in this file. Okay. The answer should be in lexicographic order. Okay. You can make it. So makes a directory given the path. The given directory path does not exist. If the middle directories, you should create them as well. Okay. So it is basically like make dir -p. Do you guys know what a make dir -p is? Make dir man, I guess. So you can see parents. No errors if existing. Make parent directory as needed with their file modes unmodified by any -m option. Okay, so that's one. And then you say add content to the file. So you have a file path and a string content. If file path does not exist, create the given file given. It appends the context. Okay, and read content returns the content of the file. Okay. Okay. So there are a couple of things we have to take care of, right? So you're designing an in-memory system, but where if you actually give a where if you give an ls, if it's a file, then you just return the file name. If it's a directory, you return whatever files and directories are there in that particular path. But the answer should be in lexicographic order. That's one thing. Okay. So void maker. Okay. The void maker is basically, it gives you a path, but if a certain path is not available, what you have to do here is that you have to make all the parents. Like if the parents are not available, you make all the parents, makes a new directory according to the given path, the given blah blah blah. Add content to file is basically cat. Read content from file is basically, again, cat, I guess. Right? So yeah, return the content in that file. So this is basically one of the things I don't like about Leetcode is that you always have, even for study plans, you always have these groupings, and there is no way I can remove the groupings. What is the point of showing a tag? Because okay, you fucking already have this tags in here. So looking at the tags, the bigger problem is that even before you try and read the problem, immediately it comes to your head that this is what the data structure algorithm that I have to use to be efficient. So that's one thing which is really, really annoying. I don't know how to fix that. If anybody knows, how you can fix that without any external plugins or all that, I know you can do random pickup and all that. I don't want to do that. But if you can actually do that without like looking here, it would be really great. Something which I absolutely adore about Algo experts. So if you go to Algo, I do have to log in. Just give me a second. Okay, so here I have to remove that. So if I go here, oh, I forgot that you might flashbang you, just a second. Yeah, so if I go here, explore questions, see here there's one option, group by difficulty, group by category, group randomly. If you say group randomly, it's going to say column A, B, C, blah blah blah. The most important thing is the entire metadata is lost. So since the entire metadata is lost, it doesn't kind of give you a, like, behind the scene. That's how humans work. The moment you get an information behind the scene, it somehow kind of influences you to think in that way. I don't want to do that. I want to start thinking in a way where, I might have the worst possible solution, then I try and get something better, then I try and get something better. That is how general humans try and solve algorithms. So as an example, A-star algorithm, you're coding A-star algorithm, you're solving a problem with A-star algorithm, but someone came up with A-star algorithm. So not at the very right first try, they created this algorithm right after birth and said, oh, here is the algorithm, right? But yeah, I mean, trial and error and things like that. So that's what I would really like. I really like this platform, but for some reason I didn't notice that they have a animation on. Oh, okay. Anyways, that's pretty cool actually. The logo. Anyways, so I mean, since we already know the tag, but even if without knowing the tag, one of the things we can already say is that it's kind of a key value pair and a tree structure. If you look at a very generic file structure, it's a tree structure. The question here is, how does a file path come in? Because it's a single string. Do you give a single slash? Do you give a backslash? Do you give absolute? Do you give relative? It doesn't quite say relative. It doesn't say relative. Absolute. Okay, so a constant. So file path length and this thing is this thing, file and path are absolute path which begin with this and do not end, except that the path is just this. Okay, so you can assume that all directory names and files only contain lowercase letters. Okay, so that's a very important thing in here. Only lowercase letters, and the same names will not exist in the same directory. Okay, so you can assume that all operations will be passed valid parameters, and users will not attempt to retrieve file content or list a directory that does not exist. You can assume that the parent directory for will exist, at most 300 calls. So this kind of becomes a very, very simple problem in that case, I would say, right? So if I just copy this over, okay, if I just copy this over, and let's talk about the problem statement, right? So the problem statement here is that, okay, you always have absolute paths. So even if you don't have, so even if the problem statement said that we can give you relative paths, that's fine for now. In that case, I suggest For getting easy access and quick access, you might have some sort of other hash maps to those try nodes, which would say where to exactly hit right away. Some kind of hashing may be there, but yeah, I'm not going into that right now. So initialize a file system. Of course, you have a try, right? So you have a node, which I can say usually for a try, it's a root node, and the root node can be slash. The root node can be slash, or you can just simply say, okay, this is an empty string, which means that, you know, for every traversal that you do, you always append a slash between it, and then you already start with this. So that's one thing that we can already think of. Simple. ls, so if you do an ls slash a slash b slash c, and they are mentioning that all the paths will be available, so you can just split and then you can traverse down this. So this would be a, this would be b, this would be c, let's say. So in here it would have children, right? And since it's lowercase letters, we can use an array from a to z. What we can do is we can just start traveling from here. If you start traveling from here, one of the benefits that happens is that I quickly wanna, yeah, this is going good. Okay, I probably wanna do that. Yeah. Okay, so if you go from this way, and since you're storing the data from a to z using a vector, using an array, it basically would be already lexicographically, you know, sorted. That's one thing. So then it says make dir. Make dir is also very simple. It's just adding nodes. If any of the nodes are not present, you add them. That's all, right? That's pretty much it. Then you also have something called add content to file. So you can just go to that particular file and then, you know, have a content added. So add content is basically if the file doesn't exist, you have two different options. If the file does exist, it's an append. If the file doesn't exist, it's a write. And read from content is basically read, right? So that should be the very simple solution. Okay. Any questions there? Any questions there? But there should be a problem with this. No path is going to be ABC. So this ABC is not going to be working. This ABC is not going to be working. Okay. That's a no-no. So this is not going to work. So that's the problem. So what is the solution? So the first question here is that this nodes, or you can think of an inode. I can call it an inode actually. I can actually call it an inode, right? So this inode will have Boolean isdir string content some children and name. This is gonna be a string, and this cannot be an array anymore. It has to be a hash map. It has to be a map of a string to a node, right? So this is how generally it works. Okay, so if I look at it, so you'll have a Boolean is directory. You would have a string name. You would also have a string content, and it would have a hash map of string to node. I mean, do not go with the syntax, but I hope you can understand. This is what the entire idea about this. Okay, so let's do that. 558. I hope I haven't done this problem before. Five five eight. Let's call it inode. This has to be your final. The next thing we want, so another thing, like I mentioned, is a hash map. But the hash map here, so let's first do the content, right? So I can simply do string content. There's a problem to this. What is the problem? Because when I keep on appending things, I'm gonna be reassigning and creating a lot of strings. So what I can do is string builder. So I can have that as basically the buffer in memory to actually store the data, right? And then you also need a hash map, but I need things to be sorted. So remap string inode. This can also be fine. So I'll do that. Better should do now. So I think this should be fine, right? Because it's not taking the natural sorting order if I'm not wrong. So I'm gonna see this once exactly how this is working. So I hope you can see the terminal, but yeah. So in here, let's say if I say this, so it gives empty. But what if I say this? What? Array man, I'm an idiot. But for the first one, it always gives you empty stuff. It's kind of okay, I suppose. I suppose it's okay, right? Because now, what I can do is I know current equals root. Okay. So for int I equals 1, I less than this. Okay. String part is this. So what if it doesn't exist? What are they expecting? What are you expecting, my friend? Users will not attempt to retrieve file content or list a directory or file that does not exist. Okay, so we don't have to handle edge cases here, but that is not how you do it in production code. But okay. Okay. So how do you do this? So you got the part current dot children dot get part current equals this. So this is how you traverse, which also means that if it was this case, right? If it was this case, this loop will never run and current would be root. And next, what I'm going to do, it would make sense. It would make sense because now I can simply say current is directory, return list dot of current dot children dot values, no, keys, what do you call it, key set. Okay. And you cannot do that. Okay, now I guess I'm not quite sure if this is the correct way of doing it. Else we can simply say return list of current.name, you can say, right? I suppose let's do this. We can copy paste some code. We can copy paste a lot of code. So in here, if current.children contains key, if it doesn't contain the key, current.children part new, I know this is true. But we have to be careful in here. We have to be really careful in here. So this is not a path anymore. It's not a file. So how do you make the file? How do you make a file? Actually, I guess with add content only. If the file part doesn't exist, create that file. Okay. So this has to be true according to the constraints. And that's pretty much it, I suppose. Did we do that right? I think we did that right. Okay. So then again, but here's the thing. If I go all the way down, so this currently the current would be the node which is pointing to that particular file. So current dot append content. That's all. So in here, return current dot content, get content. Yeah, that is basically it. But we may have done a little bit fucky here and there. We'll try to fix that if we face that. For now, let's run this and see if we didn't miss any stupid thing. Yes, we missed. Awesome. Why is that? Why is that? Why is that? If it is a directory, oh, I know. What's the problem? What is the problem? Anyone in the chat? This right here is the problem. So what you have to do is you go to the last one, or let's say we do this. I is less than parts.length minus 1. Wait, we did that wrong. This goes here. This goes here. This here is again wrong. My bad. Sorry. Yeah. This is the correct. Should be fair now. And that didn't work. Why? Because of this stupid thing. So instead of that, I mean, it's not memory efficient right now, and that's not what I'm trying to do. What? What you're talking about? I don't understand. Do you want me to do this? No. What do you say? What you're not able to infer? Aha. Yeah. Sometimes brain just doesn't work, I suppose. Okay. So oh, it's quite fast looking at it, and if you look at the complexity of it, so every other method will have different complexities. I don't know what is n, what is k, log of k, like it doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna give a that's what my sentence length is. Why did you let me type then, buddy? Okay, cool. By the way, today is Sunday, so today morning they had a sing contest. Maybe we can look at some of the problems what they did in today morning. So generally it's been a while that I've given a contest, I think. Anyways, back to the problem. So I think it was on the try. So autocomplete, design search autocomplete system. These are more design problems. That's fine. This is something good because I haven't solved it, so it should be fun. So design a search complete system for a search engine. Users may input a sentence, at least one word, and end with a special character hash. You're given a string array sentences, okay, and an array times, both of length n, where is previously typed sentence and times I is the corresponding number of times the sentence has been typed. For each input character except this thing, return the top 3 historical hot sentences that have the same prefix as part of the sentence already typed. Okay. Here are the specific rules. I kind of want to change the song. I don't like it. I want to play infected mushrooms, but I don't know if it's okay. Can we play infected mushrooms in live stream? I don't quite know. Yeah, I want to stick to this. Sorry, let's stick to this. Okay. The hot degree for a sentence is defined as the number of times a user typed the exactly same sentence before. The return top three sentences should be sorted by hot degree. The first is the hardest one. If several sentences have the hot TA, this thing, use ASCII code order. Smaller one appears first. Okay. If less than three hot sentences exist, return that as many as you can. Makes sense. When the input is a special character, it means that the sentence ends, and in this case, you need to return an empty list. What? Not getting it. Acha. Every time you're gonna give me a. It is not a sentence match, it is a character match. But then if you're giving a character every time, you're given a string array sentences and integer array times, both of length n, where sentences I is a previously typed sentence and time is a corresponding number of times the sentence was typed. Okay, for each input character except this hash, return the top three historical hot sentences that have the same prefix as a part of the sentence already typed. So I am guessing that I have to internally store the state of what has been typed till now. Okay, that is what I am guessing. I may be completely off, but that is what I'm guessing right now. Okay, so the hot take is, so the rules and all that. Do we want to get into the rules? Maybe the data structure will change depending on the rule. Okay, this indicates that the user typed the character C, returns an empty array if C is the hash, and stores the input sentence in the string. So this I feel is quite important because that particular sentence I feel the hotness should increase. Return the top three historical hot sentences that have the same prefix as part of the sentence already typed. There are fewer than three matches. Return them all. That is a pretty sus question. So how do we even start thinking about this? So you have a bunch of sentences which has a degree of weight to it. Right, that's one thing. But you're always entering each character at a time and you have to kind of prefix match it with something else. Because of the fact that like this thing here is not like, oh, it's basically like Google, right? What did you, right? So with everything that you type, it keeps on giving you some kind of crap suggestion. Not crap, actually, it's quite good, but yeah. Where's my, okay. So let's take an example, I think. Let's take an example, I think. Okay. So this particular example here is that the sentence is I love you. So I love you, which is of 5. Then you have island, which is of 3. Then you have Iron Man, which is of 2. Then you have I love Leetcode. I love Leetcode, which is of 2. Okay. So first you start pressing I. So sorry. If I start looking at it, there are 2 things to it. One, hotness. How hot is it? How hot is a sentence? Usually I think this word is used in caches, right? So how hot is a sentence? I first want to keep those kind of notes if something is more hot, and then I want to keep something which is shorter, because I feel where is my lead code or need code, something like that. Not okay, and I'm ask lead. Sorry, I slept for the entire day and then still I'm yawning. Sorry. Okay. I want to understand exactly how this thing works, where use ASCII code order, smaller ones appears first, which I'm thinking is basically Lex. It's gonna do a bunch of shit, and then it's gonna, I'm sorting by, I'm realizing that some examples which I love to returns at most. What is ASCII? Compare character by character. Lower ASCII value comes first. Space. Okay. If one string is a prefix or another, the shorter one is small. I get it now. So car and cat is both 5, but if I have to choose between car and cat, what comes first? Fuck, don't I know English? I think R comes first. RST. Yeah. R comes first. For 2, AB will come first because B is less than apple. And even if it was A P, and here it was A B P, this thing, even A P would come, because I think it's something like this. Something, yeah. Because A P is less than A B PPL. False. It is not less. Actually, it is not about the length. It's also about the. Okay, so it is about the very first place you mismatch. That is what Lex order is. Okay, so okay, cool. Now I can shut up. Which means that if you look at it, right? Sorry, if you look at it, first needs to be hotness, then needs to be ASCII code. One thing I want to look here is each tested sentence will be a sequence of characters C that ends with the character star, with the hash. Each tested sentence will have a length, blah 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 blah. C is a lowercase English letter, a hash or a space. The words in each are separated by a single space. I want to know that if the sentence is, the character set is only English letters. It has to be ASCII, right? It has to be ASCII because of the fact that you are taking ASCII code order. So that's one thing. That's one thing. Maybe we can store code points because you still haven't told us if you can have Unicode backed, like Unicode strings, but your comparison is still like ASCII based. You haven't told us that yet. So Where is my Excali? Here. Okay. So what we can do is we can have a node which would store the character, which would store the hotness, is sentence, so like a boolean, and then you'll have a children. And the children can be a tree map from I think it's gonna be a little more than this. Just cannot be a single node, like a single data structure to represent this. You need a little bit more. Just give me a second. I'm sorry, I gotta take this message. Just give me a second. I'm sorry. करने के लिए उसके पास कैसे करें? Okay. I'm sorry, I do have to. It's a very urgent message that I got, and I have to respond to this. Okay. We are back. Okay. Let's think about this another time. Where we are. Okay. So we have a node which will have a character, which will have this. So, okay. So what I was thinking of character cannot be. Cannot be. Because I was just thinking, you know, incrementally I is like 5, and in here plus 3. Here plus 2. I don't think it's gonna help. Because you go like this. Who asked this freaking question? Roblox. I don't know what the company is. There's Google, Amazon. Okay, a lot of companies actually ask this question. Wow. Let's look at people ranting about it here. Understanding the task description is a wholesome task. Request to problem writers, please describe clearly what you want. Sometimes I feel like we are talking English, comprehensive tests rather than algorithmic problems. Kind of true. Kind of true. Bruh, this problem description is so bad I had to read the editorial to understand the question. For example, it only takes one character at a time. You need to keep track of the role career. Yeah, I know that. We already called that out. Calling input with means that you reset the input and add the total input as a sentence. Yes, this is also something that we also asked. Understood? If someone asks me this and I'm ending the call after 45 minutes or like right at the start, you didn't say that. If so, what kind of interview was it? Phone, on-site? How much time were you given? If they ask you this question in an interview, you must be interviewing for the CEO's post. The way the question is worded is very hard. That I agree. Okay. What a ruthless question it is. So insane. They want to support adding new sentences or input as well. I had the whole thing coded and I had noticed that requirement. Even the example passed, since it involved added the example either. The question is generally asked in system design HLD, where you're not required to code. Yeah, you know what? I was looking for a reason to skip this question for now. I have found the reason. People are not happy with the question and the English is so bad I cannot understand it. Okay. So I found the reason. Like it's not doable. It's not doable. So I just found the reason to skip it, right? Okay. You can judge me, but if I give a F, 29 200% no. So I don't want to do that. I mean, I should do. I have very less hard questions, to be honest. Like if you look at it, I have very, very less hard questions. And that's why I'm not a FANG engineer. So that's okay. Right? I'm just a staff engineer, not a FANG engineer. Because I couldn't solve hard questions. Wait a second, did it fucking close? Study plan. Can you just bring that in? Okay. Let's try and do something else, Boost the morale. This guy solved 67 problems in this week. I don't know how to compete with this guy. I just don't know. Let's try and find something that we haven't done already. Okay. Design steam game. This is also a giant pain in the ass. Honestly, I'll be really, really honest. It's a giant pain in the ass. Missing number in arithmetic progression. Missing element in sorted array. Find the divide the chocolate. Maximum average subarray. High five. Mean cost. Max cost. Already kind of bored of Leetcode. I know Alien Dictionary, I haven't solved it. Like this again is a more topological sort-based thing. The Amazon guy is messaging me at night 10:30 that hey, we couldn't deliver because there was an issue. We will deliver in 5 minutes. Dude, it's 10:30 now. I have to go down to accept your offer. Accept not your offer, sorry. Accept your delivery. Yeah, why? Who delivers at 10:30 in the night? Okay. Anyway, what do we want to do? Number of islands 2 is also something that we haven't done. I'm kind of confused in here. I'm kind of confused. What do you want to pick up? I want to pick up something simple. Let's see if we have done all the easy ones. Do we have a filter and all that? No. Did we do all the easy ones? Okay, so we have done that. We have done that. We have done that. We have not done this. And this is a giant pain in the ass problem also. Like I honestly don't like it. Did I not get it? By the way, I tried to solve it before. Did I not get it? 7-3. Why didn't I submit it then? Wrong answer. Okay. Why is it a wrong answer? What is the question? Let's read the question. I'm guessing. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Okay. Yesterday my PC crashed. And I almost had a heart attack. Shouldn't be joking about that actually. Sorry. I hope I didn't offend anyone. I'm really sorry. You should be joking about those things. Yeah, there are some things we should be off boundaries here, off limits. Anyways, we can represent a sentence as an array of words. For example, the sentence "I'm happy with Leetcode" can be represented as, okay. So given two sentences, each represented as a string array, and given an array of string pairs, where x and y pairs indicate that two words xi and yi are similar. Return true if the sentence 1 and 2 are similar, or false if they are not similar. Just give me 1 second. Ma ranna korcho? Chimni chalao na? Chimni chalao ni? Chimni ta chalao ni? Chimni ta chalao. The bar full speed hai. Okay. My mom is cooking without the exhaust or something. It's burning. Okay. Return true if sentence and sentence 1 are similar, or false if they are not similar. If they have the same length, sentence 1 is two sentences are similar if they have the same length. Okay. Sentence of I and sentence of no, my bad. I tried to be funny and it backfired. I read it wrong. I'm the jackass in here. So notice that a word is similar to itself. Also notice that the similarity relationship is not transitive. For example, if the words A and B are similar and the words B and C, A and C are not necessarily similar. Okay. I don't want to see what I did. I just want to go ahead and solve it by myself. I think 734. So one of the things I do want to do in here, I feel, is that we want to create a map of similar pairs. All right. Once we create a map of similar pairs, saying, okay, this is similar to this is similar to this. We're gonna do both ways, right? Look at that. Okay, so map.put word 1. Now here's the thing. It cannot be. Wait, Why did I do integer? I cannot be this. It has to be this. If word1 map dot contains key, if not, map dot put word1 new hash set. Map1 dot get this, and then map dot get word1. Okay. If sentence1 length not equal to sentence2 length, I'm simply gonna return false in here. Okay, as a first, I is 0, I less than this, and I plus 1. String word1 and word2. Okay, cool. If word1 not equals this, or word2 dot equals word1. Well, that's kind of stupid, right? Yeah. Or word1 dot equals map dot get word. Sorry. So I think what we have to do is objects dot equals word1 word2, or objects dot equals, so word1 should be equal to dot contains this, or and this should be it. First we run the problem and then we see if it's correct. So if it is not equal, so if it is false, it's going to execute this, that if I try to get the set of all the similar words for word1, it doesn't contain the word 2, or the other way around. If nothing is a match, good. Motherfucker. What is the problem? You know what? I get it. How about that? Well, it's not a pretty thing that we wrote, but it's something. But it's something. Okay. Cool. So what's the next easy? We have done all these easies. This one we have done. One we have done. This one we haven't done. Let's do all easy problems. Apparently we already did before. Okay. Moving average from data stream. Given a stream of integers and a window size, calculate the moving average of all integers in the sliding window. Implement moving average. So you have a size, initializes the object with the size of the window size. Double up, sorry, next. Returns the moving average of the last size values of the stream. Okay. So given a stream of integers, so you're constantly streaming integers and you have a window size, calculate the moving average of all the integers in a sliding window. Calculate the moving average of all the integers in a sliding window. Implement moving average plus. It initializes the object with a slice of window size, and then double basically says that, next basically says, okay, you get a value, but then you also accept a value and returns a moving average of the last. So why do you have the value? Okay, I'm getting the call from Amazon. Just a second. Hello.
have you learned? I was programmed to beat you. The same mistakes. I was programmed to beat you.
Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like Kung Fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, but I just want it. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Oh baby, if you ever need a helper, you should know that I'll be there day and night. Nobody else can love you better. I'm here just to treat you right. You're the reason I'm alive. You're the only pain I can endure. And when you're not here, you're my dream, but I just want it. Yeah, I just wanna. You're my dream, but I just want it. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. To myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. But I just want it.
Deep inside, I knew from the start, you my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arms. The others don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, day up and night with you till I die. How many times for you I'ma try? Want you to notice the one and I know this perfect soulmate. I wanna show it my best friend. She's saving my life, my happy end in hard times.
Oh baby, hug it to myself.
be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Calling me royalty. Stay up late just 'cause I broke all the cages. No, I didn't take it. No, no. There are people that I guess they'll never learn. Every time I break, there's just more pain to burn. They'll never, never, never learn. Till the battle's won, still kingdom come. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me your loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Calling me royalty. Calling me royalty. They'll be calling me royalty.
Every little thing you do, it gets me thinking. By another shot, you got me drinking. Girl, you shut me down and there's no witness. Got me in my feels, she would never listen. All the alcohol is in my liver. I guess I lost and you're the winner. Missing your touch, you were a good kisser. I was born a saint, but now I'm a sinner. Falling for you, for you, for you. Falling for you, for you. For you, falling for you, for you, for you, falling for you, for you. All the times with you, they just fly by. All the memories pop up on my timeline. Change your colors on me like you're tie-dye. Got me falling for you, I ain't like a skydive. See you in another dimension. Can't sleep on my night's rest. Baby girl, you were my best friend, best friend. Every little thing you do, it gets me thinking. By another shot, you got me drinking. Girl, you shut me down and there's no witness. Got me in my feels, she would never listen. All the alcohol is in my liver. I guess I lost and you're the winner. Missing your touch, you were a good kisser. I was born to sing, but now I'm a sinner. Falling for you, for you, for you. Falling for you, for you, for you. Falling for you, for you, for you. Falling for you, for you,
Then get up, get dressed. Before work's off my list. What's left to do, just guess. It's you, my favorite, but I wanna taste you and feel you shake, raising an earthquake. Can't push the brakes when a rush hits. We're going in, we're going in. You keep me biting my cheek, year after year. Only gets better, I'm weak in the knees. We hit the sheets, you on my lips, I'm feeling the heat. That's all I need. When a day's gone, we've only begun. That's the best part, when we get it on. I'm addicted, no denying it. Cause you don't cross my mind, you live in it. I wanna taste you and feel you shake, raising an earthquake. Can't push the brakes when a rush hits. We're going in, we're going in. You keep me biting my cheek, year after year. Only gets better, I'm weak in the knees. We hit the sheets, you on my lips, I'm feeling the heat. That's all I need.
I'm about to get 30. Your last one made you 30. Now you get yourself a freaking little dude. In the mood 24/7, 6911. See you making it, but I'ma just stop. Stop for a moment. Do you really think that I'ma fuck you while I'm sober? I'm not. Taking Uber to your hotel, beating like a local, cause you're calling back while I shut down.
You keep me biting my cheek, year after year. Only gets better, I'm weak in the knees. We hit the sheets, you on my lips, I'm feeling the heat. That's all I need. That's all I need. your halo. You and I, we can fly anywhere you wanna go. Find a place we can hide, we can make it on our own. Go along for the ride, to the stars just follow. You and I, side by side, dancing in your halo.
Yes, we know, 'cause when I'm with you, yeah, I know everything will be alright. When I'm with you, when I'm with you, everything will be alright. When I'm with you, when I'm with you, everything will be alright. outside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire. No more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, and I don't need to go around anymore. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway. And cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right? Full steam through the setbacks. You can't win them all, but I'm proud I tried. I'm glad we had a dialogue. It's good to shape the mind. Speeding up the pace, turning up the heat. Where I need to be for the first time. I'm taking risks, I'm casting off without a lifeline. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway. And cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel?
Hello. Hello. You're back. We are back. So you're back after lunch, dinner. Sorry. You're back after dinner. And I'm gonna put on the music now. I hope that's okay. I hope my voice is good. Everything is good. Okay. I hope you guys already had your dinner. And we can get resumed. Yeah. I need to unpin this comment or chat, whatever. Okay, cool. So we can get started. So what were we doing? We were doing this problem and we'll try to solve it. So just for some reason I'm doing all the easy ones. There is no way of taking up a random problem in here. Yeah. Okay. So this is already done, if I'm not wrong. This here is already done. So maybe after this, I'm gonna try and complete this too. Okay. So moving average from data stream. So let's look at the, so I remember the problem. Basically, you have a window size given and you have to, every time you call next, you have to give it the average of the last size. But what is this value? Do you enter the value and then it feels like you add the value and then you start giving the average, right, of that particular window. It's a fixed window. Which also means that since it's a fixed window, we can always keep window size things in there and we don't have to, keep on adding stuff. That's one. So next, blah, blah, blah. So, okay, so you have a window of 3. So it's 1. 11 by 2 is 5.5. So then 14 by 3 is, that makes sense. 2 by 3 is 0.6, 12, okay. But when you come here, then when you say next 5, then this is added, which is 18 by 3, so 6. Okay, so every time you say value, you add something to it. And you do that. So one of the things here is that, one of the easier things here is that you can keep a fixed size array. And there's a cursor right here. So when the cursor is at the very end, what you do is you can copy over these elements and left shifted by 1, and then you can insert always your element here. Now there are two problems to it. First, what is the size? Size can be 1000. So I think we are going to go with an array because we have to still copy over things from here to here. So that is kind of a sus thing. That's one thing. And the second thing is that so it's an O(n) operation every time you have to move something over, right? But if you would have done a linked list, you could have easily just modified the tail, make this the head and like append to the tail. So there are two ways to do this thing, is what I feel. Let me just switch on the fan a little teeny tiny. Yeah. So this is what you could have done. But the problem here is that linked lists are not great with locality because this is not a contiguous memory space. So again, that is what. So do you guys notice? CPP creator. What's his name? Beyond Strike. Beyond Struss. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Okay. About linked list versus arrays. I think it's on YouTube. Art list even. I mean, so again, maybe Prime has linked to the original one, reviewed article listing. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for flashbacking again. So our list people, according to some corners of the web, I am under the impression that vectors are always better than linked lists, and that I don't know about data structures such as trees, etc., and hash tables. The problem seems to be an interesting exercise that John Bentley once proposed to me. Insert a sequence of random. So if I'm not wrong, there's also a YouTube video on this. Okay. Keep data compact, access memory in a predictable manner. So this is when your my recommendation is to use a standard vector by default. More generally, use a contiguous memory representation. I think there's a good reason for not to do it. Like C, C++ is designed to do that by default. Also, please don't make any statements about performance without measurements. That is what is the most important take, I would say. Do not make any statements about performance without actual measuring. I have seen a case where changing a 0 to 2 element list to a 0 to 2 element vector made a factor of 2 difference from mathematics like that. Nor did other experts looking at the code. Cool. So we are going to do an array. So maybe it's a good this thing here. I don't know where to put it down. Hold on. A good one to measure time linked list versus array. Okay, for actual measures. So maybe that's a good one to stream, and we'll actually learn it on stream of how it works. But anyways, so right now we're gonna use a vector. I hope the explanation was good enough. If not, feel free to do a question on the chat and I shall try to answer it again. Private final int values and int private final int size, and here should be cursor. This dot size is size, this value is this cursor is 0. Sorry, so let's do it -1 for, okay. So I don't like this as size. I'm gonna call it just, I know that it's that, but I'm gonna call it capacity. That makes more sense. So we can do this 0, and this can be size. Okay, the first thing is we need to push the element, right? So if size equal to capacity, what do we do? So we can use this thing in here. So it copies n bytes. I mean, sorry. We can use system array copy. My bad. Sorry. System dot array copy. So we can use that. So here, this is the source. So values is the source. So the starting position will be 1, and you copy from here and this, and it will be size -1. Right. So that is what we are doing in here. Okay. After that, what do we do? Values of size -1 is equal to value. You know what? We can do a little bit more than this. We can do a little bit more than this. We can do that. We can do that. So if size is less than capacity, this values of cursor is this current sum plus this thing, okay, and cursor plus size plus. Else, so if it's equal, what do we do first is we first say this current sum minus values of 0. Then we say system.array copy from position 1. This destination position is this, and you can simply say size minus 1, right? So because that is the number of elements that you're copying over. After you copy this over, you can say values of size minus 1 is value, and this current sum plus value. You don't have to move the cursor around, you don't have to move the this thing around, right? So this is what it is supposed to be. And I don't increment the size, I don't increment anything, so it should be good. Okay. So return this dot current sum divided by, so still looking at double. So what I'll do here is double current sum divided by cursor. So if cursor would be less, and we'll just take cursor, otherwise it would be size. Okay, and that should be it. Hopefully I didn't do any stupid thing in here. Okay, that seems fair, but it's kind of slow. It's kind of slow, which, yeah, it's kind of slow. What if I actually do this? Private static record int value. So let's call it this. Right. So in here would have so private final value. I cannot do that. So here I'm saying that private final val private node next. So in here we have to remove the head. We have to, yeah, so one pointer is sufficient. I think we'll see. I think one pointer is sufficient. So add to the constructor, it's prefine. So in here cannot be that. Head, tail, private, in size. Well, you already have that, so you don't need that. You have that times sum. Yeah. This capacity is capacity. This head is null. This tail is null. This size is 0. This current sum 0. Okay. So what do we do in here? If size is less than capacity, if head is null, what do you do? Head is note val note, tail equals note, current sum plus val, size plus plus. Or we can simply say if size is 0. This is what we do. Is that correct? I think that's correct. Else if size is less than capacity, what do we do now? We simply say that tail dot next equals node, tail equals node next, size plus plus, and current sum plus value. Else, so this would be always equal because we take 0, we take less than, and since we are going to manipulate this in a way that it's always going to be so what we are going to do is that this current sum minus head dot value. That's the first thing we do. This head equals head dot next. Then we are gonna say not size management. Tail dot next is node. Tail equals node next. Just this things in here, so it kind of aligns with what we've done before. And then current sum plus value. So we always do that, which means that this can be removed like this. And in here, you can simply return the size. This can be static, I suppose. So I want to see if this is a little bit faster than what we have already done. Okay, of course, this is moving average in here. Awesome. Awesome. What did we do wrong in here? So I quickly want to see. Wait. So when does it fail? In the first place, or it fails here? Why is that? There's one more problem here. What is sizes 1? What is sizes 1? You know what we can do? We don't have to initialize everything. We always just return the value and just don't do anything else. These all are associated with null, so that should be fine. So that's one thing. Wait, is the size actually 1? Wait, capacity. My bad. Okay, so we are still in the wrong. So capacity, okay. That's kind of wrong. Why is it wrong? So it's at 1, 10, 3. You get a null pointer exception because this dot tail is null. How is that possible? Did we? No, right? So at the very first we say this is node, and you increment the size. And here, if it is less than the capacity, the next is this. Aha! Sorry. That's the problem. Sorry. It's kind of more slower, right? If I remember it correctly. Well, we also have system println, which is like a console log thing, which we don't want to slow down. Motherfucker actually increasing. Okay. That's quite sus. Why? One, two, three, four, 5. Why is that? Tail next equals no. You're telling me tail is not. That's not possible, is it now? Hmm. Tail dot next equals no. Okay. What if I take a use case where I don't have this many? This should be correct. Yeah. So now I need to add this. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? Kind of wanna, debug this shit. Let's debug this. I mean, why not? We added 3 more. Right? So till here it's fine. How many did we add? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. That's why. Okay. Okay. So we can look into solution here, but I do want to actually do this sometime. We can do a quick check like this where private final deck. I believe this might be a little slow. This might be a little slow, and I'll tell you what.
Hand on the wheel, got my pistons pumping, all 800 horses running. Oh baby, 125 in the middle of the night, got my engine
what about this kind of solution? This is hmm. What am I doing wrong in here? I think I'm sluggish after dinner. Anyways, I'm gonna keep this from. I'm gonna keep this for now. I'm gonna submit. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the solution for now. But I think maybe in another stream, I keep on forgetting. So if you guys don't know, there's something called Streamline.in that I'm working on. I am not planning to do it online live, but Streamline.in, the landing page is there. So basically, this is an application which helps you streamline your creative flow, because I want a single place where I can dump my thoughts and I can, keep my video metadata, thumbnails, chunk videos, edited videos, and all that in a single place, easy access. And maybe in future we also go ahead and start integrating with different platforms to actually publish from there. So this is something that I'm working on, and the landing page is purely vibe coded using Claude. It's really, really good, but I had to go ahead each and every line and be very, very sure that okay, it's not doing something stupid. But yeah, that's pretty good. And yeah, the logo is something which I created. I don't know if it's good or not, but the logo is something which I created by myself. The website here is completely vibe coded. Still building, and yeah, if you're interested in this, go have a check. Sorry, go have a check. Get started page takes you to another. So this is basically the landing page, and then this takes you to app Streamline in which your actual application would be hosted. It's still a placeholder, as you can see here. It's launching soon, so yeah, gonna work on that. I'm still working on this one. The authentication part is still like it's done. Right now, I'm working on deciding how the dashboard would look like and things like that. But anyways, nonetheless, like we really need that. I just opened Obsidian and I was not very sure exactly what the heck it's gonna be open. It's kind of like dangerous and good. Oh, by the way, maybe this is something that you guys would be interested in. So I'm putting it down in the chat. Namaste. Okay, so this easy is done. What other easies are pending in here? This easy is done. This easy is done. We did this. Let's finish this off. First unique number. But yeah, delete end nodes after emotes. I hate this kind of problems. Hate it. I hate it. Honestly, I really, really hate it. Okay, let's try to do this one. I tried to attempt. Okay, so what kind of... I did it in August 2024 with the TLE. I did it again after a year. It's TLE. So definitely I haven't improved a single bit. But let's see if we can do this. Okay. So it says first unique. You have a queue of integers. Okay. You need to retrieve the first unique integer in the. Okay. First unique nums initializes the object with the numbers in the queue. So you're given nums. Okay. So show first unique returns a value of the first unique integer of the queue and returns -1 if there is no such integer. Okay. Void add. Insert value to the queue. Insert value to the queue. Insert value to the queue. Okay, so you can keep on inserting. That's a very interesting problem, because you're always not trying to find out whatever value came first. You're trying to find out whatever value came first and is unique. But the second time you add, you can add the value, so that value will change. And I'm guessing it's 10 to the power 5 or some kind of operations that you do. 50,000 calls to be made to this thing and add 10 to the power 5 and all that. Okay. So the question is, how do we achieve this? How do we achieve this? Okay. Good. Yeah, so you initialize with 2, 3, 5. Then you say show first unique, it returns you back with 2. You say add 5, it still returns you back with 2. Okay, so we need the ordering, and we also need to keep a count of what is happening when. So even if you keep a queue, the very simplest thing you can do is you can iterate. But the queue is generally not for iteration, right? Queues are only for working with the extreme ends. You add to the last and you just pull something out of the front. So you add it to the ass and take something out of its mouth. Right? The stack is opposite. You shove something in the ass, things get out of the ass. Well, that's what queues and stacks are. For a queue, you shove something in the ass and something comes out of the mouth. And for a stack, you shove something in the ass and something comes out of the ass itself. Quite opposite to how humans work for queues, right? Goes inside your mouth, goes out some other place. Queues are exactly the opposite thing. Okay, so we need some sort of marker. I'm thinking that, okay, this is the frequency of this number, and if the frequency at the head of the queue, the mouth of the queue, is more than 1, I would like to pull it off, because that guy can never show up in the rest of the things, right? That's one thing. But the second thing is we need to be sure that next time when 2 comes in, so if somebody says add 2 again, I would just go and see that, oh, 2 is not there in the queue anymore, so it must be unique. But that is not the case. It is there. There is no removal operation. I have removed it so that, like, it's easier for me to pull out something, right? That is what it is. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't know what kind of solution I did 6 months back or 1 year back, but this is what I'm thinking. So it was 235, and then you add 532. So it was 235 to start with, then you add 532. Okay. So what I'm thinking here is that you have a queue and you have a hash map. So you insert 235. You simply insert 235. Even there are duplicates in the very start, we just initialize everything. 235. Okay. And 2 is 1, 3 is 1, 5 is 1. Then you insert 5. The first thing you do is when you do an add, you do this. Okay, you do this. So it's already existing, so you add in here and you just exit. So existing increase counter, non-existing add to map, add to queue. Makes sense? So it was 6, we're gonna add 1 here and we're gonna add 6 in, right? This is what we're gonna do, but right now we don't do that. Second thing is when 3 comes in, well, yeah, we just add a pivot. So then it says show unique. We show unique peak at the value. We get the value. And once we get the value, we want to look in the map and see if the value is 1. If the value is not 1, the value is 1, so it's 2. Answer. Then you insert 3. So it's still there. Do the same logic in here. And you say +1, 2. Cool. Again, I think there's a show unique or something. You again return back. Oh, you add 2, 5, 2, 3. Okay, so you say this, not this, say this. Okay, then when you go to show unique, you first speak. The value is not 1. You pull it. You do not remove it from the hash map, because the next time you're inserting 2 again, I would know that there was a value called 2, and it can just fall in this framework and increment the counter. There is no loss in that, but we are going to make sure that we do not make duplicate inserts into the queue. So queue dot peak map of this thing not equal to 1. So while, so you can simply pull this thing. This is what entire logic is gonna be for show unique. So whenever you're trying to show the unique one, you will try to pull out things and remove everything from the mouth of the queue, from the top of the queue or front of the queue, for which the values in the hash map is not 1. Okay, that's one thing. And when you're adding a value, if it's an existing value, you increment the counter. If not, then you just be done with it. If not, you first make an entry into the map and then you add it to the queue at the back of the queue. Right? So that's what the answer is going to be. Let's see if this time we nailed it, and we'll also see 6 months back what kind of code we did. 1429. Hopefully I got it this time. Hopefully. So private final okay, teacher, you can use linked list. Well, we don't want to do it here. It's just be code, and here is a map in teacher. So this is a frequency counter. Okay, this queue is this frequency counter is that. So for int num of nums, so this frequency counter dot compute the num, and if v is null, well, you're completing. Can you do it? Yeah. Okay, and queue dot offer num. That's all. What if it's duplicates in the very first place? Only one. So in the very first line, what if you give duplicates? Is it allowed? That is allowed. The fuck. If frequency counter dot get of num equal to 1, the skew, well, why do you have to get it again? If frequency is 1, this skew dot offer no. Okay, cool. Returns -1 if there is no such integer. Okay, show unique. This is interesting. Q peak frequency counter dot get object not equal to 1. Frequency counter dot is empty, so this is not empty, and then this thing frequency counter dot hold. Sorry, q dot hold. Okay. If q is empty, well, this is wrong. Yeah, return -1, else return peak. That's what you do. Next part, if it's existing, if frequency counter dot contains if it is existing, well, if it is not existing, because if it's existing, we are really not bothered about the frequency. It has to be greater than 1. That's all. No, we have to do it. Okay. Compute if present. By function. Okay. Else the same. And then, you know what? Yes, that's basically it. Let's see if we nail this problem. Motherfucker, we didn't nail this problem. Okay. What is 5? But for the first problem, you first add 2. Add 5. Okay, so 5 is also. Array, not if. Why? I missed that. My bad, sorry. Yep. Hopefully now this is good. Slow. Holy shit, we did it. So now I want to see what I did 1.5 years back. So it almost failed at, okay. So you have list of it. And you have a frequency map. I did the same thing. Look at that. The problem here is I'm iterating. The entire point of having the map is stupid then. But I had to say, like, it's so fascinating to think about that I haven't solved this problem for 6 months. I also want to see with Python what the heck I did. Is it the same idea? Yeah, it's the same idea. Again, I tried the same thing for some reason. So 1 year apart, I tried the same thing, just changing the language and thinking, okay, it will be good, no issues. I had the same idea, but I just didn't have that brain thought that why don't I just evict stuff. So what we did here was very similar. So here we just, update the frequency, and if the frequency is 1, which means it's a new thing, that is when we offer to the offer to the queue. Otherwise we don't really push it to the queue. It's not needed, which we are doing then. But here what happens is that, hey, when we try to show the first unique, we first see that if that particular value, the frequency is 1. If not, move it, get out of here, don't show your face. And doing this, and we do this in a while loop and not an if, which I coded wrong. I mean, I wrote here while and then I did if, like, it's just stupid. But if it got empty, it means you don't have any unique, so you can just return -1. Now you can also inline it, right? On queue is empty. If not empty, peak. Otherwise -1. So that kind of compresses the problem. Cool. Also, it's 112 milliseconds. I want to see what exactly these guys are doing. They have their own node. Okay. Same thing. It's kind of the same idea, but the only thing that they are doing is they're managing their own node. Maybe that's why it's a little bit faster. I wonder if in my code also, instead of a linked list, I say array text. What happens then? Immediately it came down. If I'm not wrong, it ran for 9 milliseconds, right? If I may be wrong. Immediately it came down because you can just look at all the submissions. It came down by some time, not that much, which means okay, so it's almost same. Almost same. Memory wise also, it's not big of a deal. It's a 10 to 15 MB of difference in here. Okay, so we should be able to understand the trade-offs and when to use what. I feel that we should be doing a stream digging deep into this, using a linked list versus array packed memory and time trade-offs with real data. Memory and time trade-offs with real data. Okay. So I think now I'm very tired. My eyes are already red and I'm feeling sleepy. I slept for the entire day, but I'm still sleepy. So I'm going to log off right now. I'm going to stop right here. There are some easy problems which the linked list one though I absolutely hate. And yeah, since I'm already sleepy, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some good sleep. And tomorrow again, maybe in the evening, I'll come and stream. But yeah, so thank you so much. So I'll just push this. How many did we solve? Only 4 in 2 hours. Wow. Yeah, it's already evident in my eyes that I'm very, very sleepy. It's already evident in my eyes I'm very, very sleepy. But what I'm gonna do is, yeah, So this is a repository that I use for all the problems. You can go and check this repository. You have solutions from Algo Expert, Leetcode, and system design things that I'm trying to work on. Like you have basic notes in here at some point. Like this should be a one-stop solution for everything, right? Is what I think. Like at least this is what I feel should be the thing, and maybe I can do a website from this content, right? Maybe I can do a website from this content. Let's see. So yeah, so thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for everybody who joined. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope it was a good stream. I hope. I'm really sorry. I thought I'll stream for a little bit more, but sorry, 12:15, and like my eyes are already red. Though I slept from 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening, I'm still now again sleepy, and tomorrow is office day, so I have to get up early morning and get the day started. So I'm gonna log off now, and I'm gonna log off here. Thank you so much, everybody who joined. Do consider sharing this channel with your friends. Do consider sharing this. If you like the content, if you feel that it's gonna be important, it's gonna be helpful to people, feel free to share. I keep saying I'm gonna make videos, but I still am learning in the. I'm honestly in that learning process in video editing, and for me, if I cannot do it, I won't say perfect, but good enough. You know, like the videos that I watch, if I cannot do that, I just don't get the motivation to post it. I just don't get the motivation to publish it. It's for anything. It's not just for videos. Okay. But yeah, it took me almost 3 to 4 years to gather up the courage to actually start streaming, putting my face online and just start streaming software. Because I know I'm not that good. I'm trying to be better, and know I'll be better as days cross. But yeah, the people that I follow are really, really good. So from that perspective, I'm like, hey, am I really worth like streaming? Yeah, like is it worth to put my content out there? Is it worth to put my knowledge out there? So it finally took me 3 years to actually gather that courage to say that, okay, I'm going to do that. And even after that, if you see the first quite a few streams, I never posted my camera because I was like, okay, the camera, the lighting, everything needs to be perfect and all that. And then I just said, okay, let's just do it. So yeah, anyways, so yeah, if you feel this is gonna be good and the live streams are gonna be good, the live sessions are gonna be good to people who enjoy software engineering and like the process of seeing software development instead of just a 10-minute video on how it works, yeah, do consider subscribing, do consider sharing it with them. And thank you so much for tuning in, and you have a great night. You have a good Monday tomorrow. Okay, bye bye. Thank you.